Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, it's Week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Mexico City Golden Eagles and the San Antonio Marshalls. On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 17 carries, 69 yards.
And well liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
They run it again with Cook. And some space here. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves his sticks.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They go play action here on first down. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Cousins now on second down. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to third down. For Cousins. Can't get away, and he's taken down.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
Now is the punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. Taking it about the 16. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious. The play clock's running down. They run again with Hyde on first. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Second down, Hyde. And he's got this one just across midfield to the 49. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Zach Brown leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. He'll drop to throw. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Jim Caldwell's guys cannot come through there on 4th down. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you,
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He got 29 yards that time. Fresh set of downs here. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Mexico City football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Cook following the penalty. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Again, it's Cook. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Cousins. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, they had to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, churning the legs a little bit, and gaining what he needed for a first down?
Well, that's the deal. On third down, these guys, they know where the sticks are. He obviously knew right there.
And if you want to be a dependable third down receiver, you've got to be willing to absorb those types of hits and make those sort of plays.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. You know, projections for him were a little all over the board. Some saw him as a day 3 pick, maybe a little bit higher, but here he is, round 3.
I do know teams that had him listed as a first-round talent. I also had teams that had him listed as a day 3 guy, which is rounds 4 through 7. So him going in the third round kind of fit in the middle. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder wanting to prove that he should have been taken higher.
Really, it's a solid draft class from a year ago. They were able to address some key weak spots on their team and fill in some holes.
And they were able to identify the players they wanted early in the process. Got a little bit of luck as some guys may have fallen to them. But for the most part, knew their philosophy and stuck to it.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Jonathan Hankins in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And his kick is good. And it's 3-0 here in the second quarter. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
And now back out comes the offense. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Back to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They're going to look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march up another 15 against your squad.
Play action now. Cousins trying to lay one up deep. Looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Ryan Anderson able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running
back? That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well. But they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. Finding room to the 20. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, we'll send you to Orlando and Larry Ridley as he'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. But no touchdown. These guys need to give Larry some touchdowns to talk about.
Things are too easy for him right now back in the studio. Come on, guys. Help the man out. Give him something to talk about.
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Zach Brown able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. When they need to play on third down, you kind of know what direction the ball's going, but the defense knew it too.
Yeah, it's a good call because they wanted to put 2 men on him, and they did. Dare him to throw into double coverage. Really what you're saying is, let's see if one of the other receivers can beat us.
So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, and it's third down.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 15. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going deep for Moncrief. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking long for Thomas. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Following the penalty, it's Hyde. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
They run it again with Hyde. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
All right, here we go. Clean, D. Watch it now, Marty. Watch it now, Marty. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Good. Now let's go. Green.
A 10th carry for Hyde. And he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Now let's go. Over.
Play clock winding down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. A nice gain of 21 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. Now back to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20, 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now we're going to have a timeout called here by the offense as they'll get together on the sideline and talk this one over.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Three yards remaining here on second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll look to throw here. And he couldn't hang on to it through the count. Contact. Incomplete.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Here we go now. Boom, landed. Leopard.
They'll try and throw for it here. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Working out of the gun, Cousins. On the catch, it's Crowder. And, oh, a good hit there and knocked down hard. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Cousins. Caught on the right side, Reed. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Oh, now whistles. And unless he was drawn off, and I don't think he was, this is going to be a first down.
Encroachment, defense.
A pretty large mental mistake right there to give him the first.
It's situational football, and you have to know you're down in distance. On that fourth down, any type of penalty would give them a first down, so you can't jump off sides. You can't encroach. You got to be careful.
Left side, Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Second down, here's an option right. And that time he's smothered as he's wrestled down at the 5-yard line. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a first down on the keeper.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. To throw is Cousins. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time. And that'll bring up second down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation.
Now the try here for the point after. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. Back to throw here. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. It's been this one.
you.